Hello everyone, and welcome back. Thank you for being here. Today we're going to tell you a whole new story. Okay, let's begin. I am a graduate of the United States Naval Academy. What they taught me I used on the battlefield. It's known as the art of war. I used it in battle. It was time for my group to use it. The name of my job is Lieutenant Colonel Mason Ryan. I was in the Marines for 16 years before I left. I wasn't really excited to go. But I had to. My plane crashed in the middle of Kabul, getting hits from the Taliban and killing everyone on board. I was close to the gates of hell. I was able to stay alive because I was close to the chopper door. The RPG hit the tail rotor, sending the chopper into a death spin. I landed on top of a big house. Luckily, the roof gave way, which slowed my fall. A lot of bones in my leg broke. It felt like rocks in my ribs. It split in two places around the neck. The rescuers picked me up and moved me around. Berlin in an AC-130. Before I opened my eyes, I had been asleep for 4 weeks. I had to go through 2 years of therapy to get better. Even though my body was getting better, my heart was still broken. I had no idea what to do because I didn't have a job. The Major General knew what I was going through and gave me some advice that helped me get a job in a nearby shopping center as the security chief. Taking on the Taliban was more exciting. But I was still paid for my work, and I had my days. Life started over for me when I got back from being a fighter or being away for a while. I found peace in the church. In order to get back in shape, I tried to work out every morning. I went to church every Sunday and helped with a few small jobs there. Everyone in my family would tell me to get married and settle down when they came to visit. I knew that when I was 37. Now or never. I am not in a serious relationship at this time. I dated a few women in the past, but mostly because I was stationed abroad. I could never make up my mind to get married. I did what I thought was best and signed up for a few relationship apps. Even though I was very pretty, my scars on my face did make me stand out. I think women like guys with scars. Mine was getting hurt in battle. It wasn't long before the message got there. I agreed to send a message when Stacy McDonald asked me to, and we talked for 5 minutes. We finally decided to meet up. It shocked me to see her in my own city. So, the conference was quickly planned and put together. As it turned out, we met in a nearby coffee shop, to find that she looked a lot like her personal picture in real life. She waved at me when she came over. She smiled and said, "I was expecting a desperate 70-year-old man. I'm shocked too. You look just like your picture." Laughed. "These cuts are real. I thought they were just photoshopped better." They are in Afghanistan with me, not somewhere else. "What do you want to do?" By the way. So I asked. We talked for 2 hours after getting coffee. She taught history at a college close by. Never got married. She says people think she's boring and weird, as she talks too much about past topics. But I really like talking with you. After going out with her for a year, I moved in with her. I asked Stacy to marry me after we had been dating for 2 years and lived together for 1 year. We got married after she said yes. Our plan was not to have kids. We chose to put off the plan, even though we really wanted to go with it. It was a wonderful event. We enjoyed our short but happy life. It was simple. We used to get up, go to work, come home and eat dinner. And enjoy our exciting nights together and soft hugs. I could not have asked for more. Love makes people do strange things. You'll get weaker or completely different because of it. In private, Stacy was a very shy woman. She came out of her cocoon to be with me. Her attitude wasn't very lively. She was more friendly and happy. But as you can see, things were never fair in life. Someone is likely watching from above. Always tries to make your life more interesting. He might slip up sometimes though, and add too much for him to handle. Stacy has been hanging out with her friends lately. I wasn't sure at first, and I even went with her where she was going. I checked on her not because I was suspicious, but to make sure she was safe. She had never been so involved with other people before. She began going to the gym for yoga classes. I was so thrilled to see how you changed. From a shy woman to a beauty with stunning good looks. She was. At the kitchen table with me after a few days. The students went out with me. Tomasa Verde National Park is in the southwest of Colorado. Our job at Cliff Palace needs to be finished, she said. That is a beautiful place. I was there when I was younger. When are you going? We'll be back by Tuesday night, which is this Friday morning. You can't expect me to be away from you for so long. How am I going to rest? I told her, let me show you love that lasts that long. She did keep her promise. And that night was great, as my favorite fighter, Ric Flair, used to say, ride the Space Mountain all night long for the first time in years. I was a little scared on Friday morning when Stacy left. Something about it scared me, but I'm not sure why. I knew deep down that this was wrong. Stop her. Your gut will sometimes lead you in the right way, but most of the time we choose to ignore them. During her trip, Stacy kept in touch with me by calling to let me know where she was and what she was doing. On Sunday night, she sounded a little tired and sad. It seemed like she just wanted to take it easy because she was tired. On Tuesday night, I picked her up at the airport and drove home. I was excited to get dirty with her as soon as I got home. She kissed me and told me she needed to rest. She didn't show any feeling. She didn't say anything, but she did whine about being tired for 3 days. I asked her if anything had happened on the trip because I didn't believe what she said. She opened her mouth to say. She said something. But she quickly went back to talking about how tired she was. Did she forget that I used to be in the Marines? I've seen people lie to me before. I know how to spot them and get them to tell me the truth. But this wasn't a Taliban fighter, it was my wife. A little warning sign went up, but I didn't do anything about it. The next evening when I got home from work, she was already there. As soon as I got home, she attacked me. We never got close to the bed. Even though it was great, it was also a worry. Anger and sadness are not easy to turn on and off. I started to watch everything she did. When you love someone, you feel at ease just being around them, and let your thoughts fade away. But everything is clear once you start to look at them more closely. Newfound obsession with looking good and being in shape. Getting ready for a night out with the girls in shorts, taking more selfies, and spending more time on social media and the phone. Was this really her, or was the geeky persona she had thought she was a lie? I am a graduate of the United States Naval Academy. What they taught me I used on the battlefield. Called The Art of War, I used it in battle. It was time for my group to use it. Putting down the first chapter. How spice is used in chapter 13. Take a look at the 5 driving concepts. To start, how does she cheat? First, there's nothing to check her with. There is war going on in cities. Third, scenery, look at my neighborhood and her college. Fourth, as a boss, make sure that everyone is there. Fifth, find out more about the people in charge. I had to pay close attention to Stacy. Voice-activated microphones are in her car, 3 are in my house, and there are hidden cameras all over the outside, living room, and kitchen of my house. I couldn't do a physical tracking system for her car because I had to work, so I put a low jack in it. I would know where she is going if she drove her own car. I did take 2 days off early to keep an eye on where she was. It didn't take long to find the responsible party. Roger Grisham, a history student of 21 years. That was a new low. I was expecting an old professor. Roger Grisham is a local businessman who works in the businesses of illegal immigration and selling crystals. Teddy Grisham, his father, is also a leader with big plans. Roger likes sports. He seems to be capable based on what I could tell. Some chemicals don't do anything until they come in contact with a certain element. Sometimes the result is shocking and other times it's terrible. Stacy took care of that for her. Part 2, getting ready to fight. It pushes us to understand the economics of war and why winning is important for getting ahead. Decisions are made quickly in talks. In short, how much would it cost me to do something? It's not my house. We don't have a group account. She gets paid more than I do, not paying her child support. So I don't lose a lot of money. Part 3 of Plan of Attack. I now have audio and video from the past week. When I'm done with them all, I'll make any plans that need to be made. Even though the records were only on one side, I could still make out what was going on. It looks like Roger had wooed Stacy. Stacy at first got it wrong, but now that she sees what she's doing is wrong, she seems to be getting excited about it. Even someone who has always followed the rules gets excited from time to time when they don't apply. It makes him feel really high in a whole new way. That person is Stacy. They even dare to talk about private things that happen in our kitchen. I believe Stacy has moved on and is no longer interested in going back. Should I keep trying to keep my marriage together? Should I just get a divorce instead? Has the thrill become too much for her and changed who she is? If that's the case, I need to leave right away. So I can keep my feelings safe. That will only be possible when I talk to her about it. Their goal is to talk to her and maybe get a divorce. Roger, on the other hand, will learn that boundaries are important and that people should accept them. Fourth part. Behavioral traits that are useful. Shows leaders how important it is to find strategic gaps and how to keep the enemy from taking advantage of any chances they get. I waited for Stacy at home while I gathered all the proof. Stacy came in at 7 p.m. That night, I was getting ready for her at the kitchen table with a beer in my hand. Too much work for college. I asked because I was worn out. I'm feeling pretty worried. Are you worried? I thought that having sex lowered cortisol. How is it possible that you are stressed? She giving me a confused look. Don't be surprised that you had sex today, Stacy. What really happened was that you slept together at this table. I guess the trip to and from college could wear you out, but not too much. She let out a gasp. What are you talking about? You were not fooled by me. How are you able to say that? As I got up, I begged her to follow me. I watched a video on TV. The woman really does look like you. It sounds like you. Has the same mole on the back of her right leg. I guess she's you. Stacy lost it when she started to cry. I loved you so much that I spoilt you and was always with you. You are getting at the same table where we eat. We're in trouble here. Stacy and I are breaking up. I'm going to start the divorce process by calling a lawyer in the morning. I went to my room, packed a few clothes, and then I left. As I went down, I saw Stacy smiling as she sat on the couch. That smile wasn't the same. I wonder where I saw that. Afghanistan. That's a smile I saw on a Taliban soldier, just before he lost it. I got through that day. Chapter 5 talks about energy use. Use your imagination and get things going. As I stood there, I thought of something. To send a message to a certain address, I picked up my phone and hit the send button. Asked for an answer. After 30 seconds, the answer came in. PTA for around 14 minutes. I need to be at home for 14 minutes. After that, I went back to my bedroom and turned off the mics. The living room followed me back to the kitchen when I got back. A little over 14 minutes. Stacy was sitting right there with that sly smile on her face. What is she going to do? I turned around to leave the house. A car drove towards me. I knew that car before I even got inside. 3 shots were fired. 3 of them missed my arm. We jumped in and were going. I looked at the wound. It almost hit the arm but missed. The driver says the shooter is new to the job. Ralph, thanks for coming. I'm glad to help, sir. What is good and bad about Chapter 6? It tells you what to do when things change on the battlefield. Over a certain area. Right away, I went to Ralph's house. When they were done, they had to find the shooter. There was clear video from the outside camera of the house. Roger was the one. The microphones made clear records. She told him and begged him to watch out for me. If anything gets out, she's done, and his father's time in politics is over. Roger could not do anything else. It's clear what they're afraid of. We just need to hit them there. Mister, you were lucky that the bullet didn't hit a vein. Others are on their way and have been told. The expected time of arrival is 5 hours. Thanks, Ralph. You saved my life today. Sir, I never told anyone this, but you are the reason I am still here. After 5 hours, a group of 5 people came in and stood in front of me. We got the mail, sir. They were reading Chapter 7, Maneuvering an Army, which was about when to go head-to-head with an enemy and how to beat them. They were all given clear instructions. 2 people would follow Roger's father around and see if he is scared. Ralph will talk to Roger. Ralph, no matter what you do, he needs to stay alive. We don't want to go to jail, Roger said with a smile. I've never killed anyone. I just threw them away. In Chapters 8, 9, and 10, we talk about Army on March 9 situations and variation of tactics. It tells you how to get your troops to the right place, deal with changing situations on the battlefield, and move your troops accordingly. The 2-person team quickly found Roger at the college football pitch. It looked like nothing had happened to him. He might have also been sure that his father would take care of things. The other team found out that his father is meeting someone important at a parking lot on the 5th floor. People from Mexico. Ralph dressed like a football player and put a mask over his face. Record was the name that was written on the back. Everyone saw that he was guilty. Was the one who stood out as he walked towards the pitch. These days, a 6'10", 300-pound man is the odd one out. Roger didn't have much of a chance because he was only 5 EE. Ralph rushed forward as soon as the ball was in play. He hit his target with the force of a truck, stood up, and ran off the field. The smell made the boys who were trying to pick him up take 2 steps back. Roger took such a hard hit to the back that he tore and shit in his pants. No one saw the big person's face. There was a deal going on back in the parking lot. Neighborhood. Roger's dad got in his. His car crashed 5 stories below the building after being hit by another car, and he was arrested with Crystal. Attack by fire, Chapter 12, both the widespread use of weapons and the targeted application of environmental warfare. I filed a police complaint against my wife, Stacy, as soon as I walked into the police station. He was taken into custody in less than 30 minutes, and I turned in the video and audio records. Since Stacy had tried to kill me, the court didn't see a problem with my D. He was given a 20-year prison sentence and is still dealing with the effects of the concussion. My wound from the shooting is still healing. I called Ralph after the divorce was finalized to wish him well and let him know I would be available for him at any time. He said it might happen soon. I'm in Thailand. Are you connected in any way? I'll give you a call or 2. They'll give you a call. After saying that, I hung up. I have never made a profile on a dating website or downloaded a dating app. My mother still wants me to find another woman. I have 2 German Shepherd females. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you liked this video. Until we meet again.